Hey everybody, it's me Keeks back with a brand new video, and in this video I'll be going over the synopsis for episodes 7 through 10 of the new Goosebumps series. So I'll be discussing the episode descriptions that were officially released. You can find them on Rotten Tomatoes. If you find that episode synopsises are spoilery to you, I personally don't, but if you consider this to be spoilers, just a warning, you might want to click out of this video. But yeah, with that little warning out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into this video. Alright, everybody, so right here we have the episode descriptions for 7 through 10, the last 4 episodes of the Goosebumps series. So, what's going to happen, what details are going to be in these synopsises. I've taken a peek at them a couple days ago, but I kind of forgot what they said. I remember a little bit. But let's just go through them and see what it says, folks. All right. So episode 7 titled "Give Yourself Goosebumps." That's gonna be one that's airing this Friday. Let's give a look at what it says for this one. So episode info: the group works together to find a way to escape their new reality. As they search for a way to get back to the real world, they make new discoveries about Harold Biddle. Nora takes matters into her own hands and treks to her remote cabin. So this episode is titled "Give Yourself Goosebumps," which is uh, from the "Give Yourself Goosebumps" books, which was a set of sort of like choose your own adventure like Goosebumps style books, right? And we see we know Fifi the vampire poodle is probably gonna be showing up in this episode. And I think I saw one mention of another character from "Give Yourself Goosebumps" series that's gonna show up here. So we'll see who that's gonna be. I don't remember who. It wasn't a name that I was familiar with, so probably why I don't remember. But overall, the description sounds like they're trapped in some kind of like real life nightmare where they're gonna have to make some choices to get out, right? And Nora is heading to her cabin, which we saw like in the trails and stuff, and was mentioned in a flashback in the last episode when they were discussing like where to like hide Slappy and everything and bury him. Um, so my guess is that like they probably split his body and saved it and like put it in like different areas, the parts to Slappy and all that. Um, it seems like they put the case in the mines uh, that James's mother's great grandfather used to own. That's like closed down and everything. So that's where they found the case. Uh, for some reason, Slappy's eyeball was in Nora's husband's shed, and why it would be kept there, I don't know. But that's like the first item we saw. Uh, Mr. Bratt, as Biddle's been possessing him, found the eyeball and everything on Lucas and everything. And he got it in the fourth episode. So like, I'm assuming there's probably another part that that is at Nora's cabin in her remote cabin and everything. So we'll see how that goes. But this episode sounds very interesting. I'm really excited for it. But let's see what. Let's move down to episode 8. So episode 8 is called "You Can't Scare Me." Um, from the same book. Now, when they said this series was based on like five Goosebumps book, "You Can't Scare Me" was not one of them. So I wonder if they just left it out to let everyone, so that way they didn't reveal too much. But anyways, let's talk about the episode description in this one. In the real world, the teens rush to Nora's cabin and find themselves on a dangerous journey to try and save Nora from an old friend. So I think this episode, we seen from like the trailer where Nora's at the cabin. There's a scene where she walks out, and Mr. Brad, with Howard possessing him, of course, is watching her and he kind of waves at her. So the kids, of course, know that Biddle is possessing Mr. Brad, and it seems now he's after Nora. He probably knows Nora, where Nora's keeping Slappy, which seems to be at this cabin, from what we can tell. Um, from all the information we gathered and everything. So it's a very short description. The kids are gonna be trying to save her and everything, and we'll see how that goes. And where where the title comes in from, you can't scare me. How that's gonna play out? Will this involve mud monsters? We don't know. My theory was that like one of the kids was probably not gonna believe like any of the stuff. Um, Now I thought it was gonna be James, um, but of course that turned out not to be right. It could be Allison. Some people are theorizing that it's gonna be Allison. It's gonna be brought into the group somehow. I really don't know if that's gonna happen. They really haven't done much with Allison besides the whole relationship drama, so I don't know. Maybe. But anyways, another episode I'm excited for. We'll see what happens. But let's continue and let's take a look at episode 9. So episode 9 is titled right here it says Night of the Living Dummy, but it's actually Night of the Living Dummy Part 2 is what the actual title is. Let's take a look. Episode info. The teens go on a road trip to Seattle to stay with Marco's mom. Mr. Bratt is on the verge of selling his story, a fictionalized version of the real events that happened in Port Lawrence, but he needs to find his perfect ending. Now, there was an interview with Rob Letterman and a couple of the other showrunners where they mentioned this episode because a lot of sites that got to do reviews they got to see the first 8 episodes, and a lot of them said that episode 8 kind of ends like in a way where it wraps everything up. So it seems like Mr. Brad gets freed of Harold Biddle's possession and everything. The kids think everything's over, but they're taking a nice trip, you know, to Seattle and everything. Mr. Brad's writing a book on everything that happens. But what does he need to find his perfect ending? What is the perfect ending? Like, how are they gonna wrap everything up? But this is just gonna lead into like more things. So I feel like and like this episode is probably gonna wrap up stuff that wasn't wrapped up in the last episode. There's gonna be some flat Mr. Brat flashbacks into how he inherited the house and everything. The showrunners mentioned in that interview I mentioned. Um, I did a whole video on it. You can go check that out. Um, but it seems like this episode and the next episode are just leading into what could possibly be season 2, and you're gonna see what I mean when we look at the description for the finale. Alright, next, the last episode, the Goosebumps season 1 finale, is titled "Welcome to Horrorland." As the teens get back from their Seattle trip, they quickly realize their loved ones in all of Port Lawrence are in grave danger. A new evil has taken over the town, and they need to band together to save it. So, as you can tell from this episode, Welcome to Horrorland, they are bringing Horrorland to Goosebumps. So, the theory here is that uh, Port Lawrence is literally going to be transformed into Horrorland, and the kids have to do something to save it. Now, this could be something that could like get wrapped up like at the end of this episode, and maybe season 2 is gonna be something different. But my guess is that we are gonna get Horrorland in this episode. I don't think they would call it title it this without having us be in Horrorland for like at least like the last 15 minutes. I'm hoping it's not something where they arrive at the town, they're getting back to town, and then they see that's been changed into this horrifying amusement park, and then like it just ends on a cliffhanger. I hope we at least get to go inside Horrorland, but let's be real, it's possible that this is going to end on a cliffhanger, and it's going either way, it's probably going to end on a cliffhanger no matter what they do. But I'm very excited to see what they do. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. What did you think? Did you enjoy the video? Did you like it? What do you think of these new episodes? Let me know down in the comments down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Click that like if you did, and I will see you all in the next one.